throw this week, but we've seen a new facet to your play as well, playing up front. But overall, back in the team, and now it's your place to lose, if you like, over the last few weeks.
It was difficult coming back into the team and regaining my fitness, but now I played the last 90 minutes, and I feel like each game I'm getting fitter and fitter and playing more to my full capabilities. So hopefully I can stay fit, stay helping the team in whatever way possible, whether it's just on the defensive side or getting forward as well. But yeah, that's the main goal, just stay fit and help the team in whatever way possible.
It's strange, isn't it, how football fate sometimes works, and Tony had said the other week he came to you, almost begged you to play that weekend.
Yeah, so that was when I first came back into the team against Middlesbrough. I wasn't quite 100% fit, and then since then I think I played 45 against Fulham, still wasn't quite fit. So the game since then, I've been regaining fitness, and yeah, I feel a lot sharper.
Right, back in a second. I'm just sorting me kids out. 2 seconds.
The game today as well, one of those you've had to grind it out, and as Tony has said, you have to find a way to score a goal, and we saw that in a sort of variety of ways in the last 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, sometimes football's like that. You have games where you're not going to play your best and you're not going to create the best chances, but the first half we didn't create. I can't remember us creating anything really, and then the second half we came out. I remember Edouard's chance. Pat had a few shots that went just wide, and we were knocking on the door, and we got the goal in the end. So that's what football's about. Just keep going until the final whistle, and you can always nick something.
When did Tony find out about your long throws? Almost as though he'd said you had been here 6 months, you didn't know anything about it. Did he discover that in the game the other night, or had you actually been practicing it?
Yeah, so I think we were 3-2 down on Wednesday, so I just done it, and then on yesterday in training, I've said, "Oh, do you want me to do a long throw again?" As like a joke, and he's gone, "Oh yeah, what was that about on Wednesday? I never knew you had that." And I was like, "Yeah, we don't have the tallest team, so I don't usually bring it out, but if needed, I can do it."
And he's also said, obviously, because of your height, it's an asset as well. If you're looking for a goal late in the game, to go up front, because, as he says, Roberts, Ahmad, they're not the tallest. They're not going to be winning headers at the back post.
Yeah, even though I'm a defender, I do like to get forward and help out in attack. I do have an attacking sense, so to speak. So, like today, where we felt like we needed an extra body higher up the pitch, I'm willing to do the running and defend on the defensive side and help the team on the offensive side.
Enjoyable at the moment, playing in this team?
Yeah, it's always enjoyable. I love playing football, so I always enjoy playing football, but coming in every day at this club is very much enjoyable. It's a good group of lads. All the staff are amazing, so it makes it even more enjoyable.
I think that's something that Tony's touched on as well, that all the players here, all you want to do is kick a football. You just want to play football.
Yeah, that is it. We have a really good group of lads. We all love to play football, so we always want to be out there and just do our best for the club.
Good to go again then Tuesday night.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll have a good back in there, so we just want to go out and do the best for them and hopefully get a win.
Get the latest team news, score updates and post-match reaction on Twitter at BBC Newcastle.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Adji Elise talking to me after the game on Saturday. Let's hear now from the Sunderland head coach, Tony Mowbray.
Tony, you've touched on and you talked about, and there's been a lot of talk about being only a couple of points off the playoffs, but it only seems like a few weeks ago we've been talking about Sunderland still being only 5 or 6 points above the bottom three, but actually now you're 15, 16 points clear of the relegation zone, and in one sense is that your job largely achieved because it was consolidation this season, and wonder if that takes pressure off you now going into these last 16 games.
I think pressure, if that's what we're going to call it, you have to bring it on yourself to find a performance every week. Really, I haven't been sitting there looking over my shoulder, and I haven't been sitting there thinking, "Oh, we're only a few points off the playoffs." I generally just looking at the next game and seeing opportunity. Really, for many years now, I don't really focus on it until we get to 10 games, 9 games. We're in single figures, and we're on. I can almost tell you exactly where the 9 games are, and how many of them are at home and how many are away, and where we're going to get the points. I don't genuinely sit there and think, forget about relegation now. I have a cut-off point in my mind of 54 points, really, because we got relegated, I think, with 52 at Blackburn, when I first got there. So let's get over 50-odd points. But and then how many do you need to get the playoffs? Maybe 70, it's... I think I'm seeing, is it 16 games left? I'm seeing 16 games left, really. Let's just play the next one. And then, so these two are coming pretty quick in my mind. I don't even know we play after Bristol City, but I know we've got QPR away, Bristol City at home, and let's get some points, and let's keep the tally ticking along, and let's keep going. See where it takes us. I don't want to get wrapped up in top six, because it might look ludicrous in 10 games time. We might be miles off it, and that's what I'm saying. Let's get on. Let's do QPR on Tuesday night, and see if we can find a performance which gets us something from the game, and then come home and again another. Very similar to last week. I think Bristol City, though, are coming in more confident mode. As I say, I think somebody said 9 unbeaten. So, and I know Big Nigel well. He'll come and want to make life difficult for us. So, let's see where we are after the weekend.
You've been talking about fatigue and the treadmill and keeping going, isn't it? In some ways, I wonder if it's going to Queen's Park Rangers is not a bad place to be going in terms of. As you've mentioned before, it's tight, it's noisy, it's loud. You could be going to a big modern stadium which might be half full and not the same atmosphere. There's something about, I wonder if it rubs off on even the younger players now going to somewhere like Loftus Road and feeling that atmosphere and sort of feeding off that, if you like.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think it's not the worst fixture for us, because it is it's not unique, but it's a different match for them. And I think, particularly of the young players that have joined the squad this year, it's just great to go to new stadiums and look around and feel the atmosphere. And this is it's almost like a Subbuteo pitch. I used to, I'm sure you do know, or maybe you don't. I used to be in a Subbuteo league when I was a kid, and you've got this. It's like a Subbuteo stadium. It's amazing to go there and play. The atmosphere, the lights. The noise of the crowd, and yet there's only 9,000-10,000 in there, but they make a great atmosphere, and it's an event, I think, playing at Loftus Road. Do
you think that young players now, in a sense, because we always see the team arriving and they walk out on the pitch and they're reading the programme and their headphones on or whatever, but do you think they appreciate some of the history, the traditions, and especially say the French lads coming to this country and suddenly playing in some of these old fantastic stadiums and having a sense, you mentioned Stan Bowles, having a sense of the tradition and the history?
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not sure young players are steeped in football. I think they know some of these great players from the past by FIFA, I think, and I'm not sure they've watched, an old match of the day from 1975. I think, they've never heard of some of these players when I mention them. Some, even players in the era I was playing and stuff. So they're different animals, really, and I think part I've talked in the past about this is actually learning to grow with the different type of footballer in the modern era. Because if you stay in the past and become like a dinosaur, you can't connect with them. They don't really understand what you're talking about. I'm constantly showing them videos of my goals, to be honest. No, I'm not. That's a joke. I just try and connect with them, and so that they understand. I've said to you in the past, I try and make them feel as if I can get to their level of knows what makes them tick. Why are they grumpy? Why are you sad? Smile a little bit. What's the matter? Come and sit down, have a cup of tea. Tell me what's happening in your life. you have to engage with young footballers and then try and get the best out of them, and they know that you are actually, even if you're not selecting them or picking them or putting them on, that they feel that you are on their side. Really, keep them going, keep them believing, keep, telling them when they're really good. So to answer your question, I'm not sure they're engaged with the past. I'm not sure they'll feel the event of playing at Loftus Road. I know I do. My outstanding memory of Loftus Road as a footballer was the plastic pitch, and Terry Venables
How you
watching us train on a Friday
doodling?
afternoon through a darkened glass private box.
Paul Smith, how are the lads? Says Blaney Richardson. Paul Smith, come on the lads from Cumbrian Exile. Thanks for the channel. You're welcome, Paul. You're welcome. BMYZ 2-0 to Sunderland. I'll take that. I will take that.
He's so tight, he got ran off the pitch. He actually hopped over and he actually sat on the chairs if he wanted to watch the match because we were getting battered. But but it's a great place to go and play, and hopefully we can find a performance that allows us to get something from the game.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Well, the teams are out here at Loftus Road. Sunderland to our left in their red and white stripes. Black shorts, red socks. Queen's Park Rangers in their blue and white hoops, white shorts. And I have to say, there are a lot of empty seats here.
A lot of empty seats, indeed.
It's by no means full. Away to our left, though, the two tiers are pretty full. Not quite 100% full, but the Sunderland fans, it's them you can hear away to our left as we look down from the Stanley Bowles stand. And Joe Gelhardt gets the game underway for Sunderland. Kicking, as I say, left to right as we look across to the main stand on South Africa Road. The ball back to Anthony Patterson. Pleased to say the old lady down in front of us has put her novel away, and she is watching the football as the ball is hooked down the left by Powell, the Queen's Park Rangers left back. Chair, the Moroccan international's got a throw here for Queen's Park Rangers. He leaves it though for Powell, who plays it.
Connor, I'm seeing 2-0 SFC. Well, how are you, man?
Jimmy Dunn, short spell on loan at Sunderland from Birmingham.
Let's give us 2 ticks, lads and lasses, lads and lasses, lads and lasses, lads and lasses.
As the ball goes off to Dickey, back to the goalkeeper, Senny Dieng, of course, scored that late equaliser at the Stadium of Light earlier in the season, as the ball was swept up through past Chris Martin, who was signed on a free from he left Bristol City in January, and back to Anthony Patterson. Out to Danny Bart, wide to Elise, and trying to look at the Sunderland formation.
Yeah, well, Bart's playing on the left-hand side. Clark is basically playing central, isn't he?
Seems to be.
With Gelhardt.
So 2 up front.
Pritchard and O'Nien are in the middle. Yeah.
Bar wide,
They've
Pritchard, O'Nien in the middle, and Clark up front with Gelhardt. The ball comes back to Dickey, across to Dunn, and he plays it out on the left here to Powell, back inside to Field, and back to Eric Boonen, the 90-year-old.
How are the lads?
Villa, quite tall.
Welcome everyone.
On this left side of midfield for Queen's Park Rangers, and then here again is Dunn at the corner of his penalty area on the left-hand side. In the second minute, 0-0. Luke O'Nien getting a foot in. Roberts looking for Gelhardt, but it's come back to the goalkeeper.
It's going to be interesting to see what Roberts, because there's no Ahmad, is there, Diallo? No. So usually you see that combination, Roberts-Diallo, but he hasn't got him today.
He's actually got no triangle to feed on here, has he? Because Humes dropped right back as a right back.
It'll be interesting to see how we function without him.
Out wide on the right-hand side now, Andre Dazelle plays it inside on the halfway.
How are you doing, lads and lasses?
As they work it into the Sunderland half, Dunn on this left side.
How are you doing, all?
Back behind to Eric Boonen.
Hello. How are you doing? Just got in from bloody work.
Forwards over on that right-hand side. There's Queen's Park Rangers wide on the right, looking for a ball dropped into the penalty area, but headed down.
Geordie Groundwater. Yep, good evening all. We never make it easy, so we'll go for 0-1. And that's it at at the end. I'd be happy. Greetings from Budapest. Well, hello from Budapest. Welcome.
Portsmouth. Well, a couple of damaging matches from Lowe, one at Wembley in particular. As we look across to that main stand, and there are lots of empty blue and white seats in the main stand. Still an atmosphere, because it's a tight, constricted ground. The ball's gone out again for another throw to Queen's Park Rangers on the far side. Laird, the right back, I think is going to take this. Ethan Laird, he's on loan from Manchester United, looking for Lowe.
On the way home from work, ZA. Come on, Sunderland. 600.
Foul for a free kick. The plaintiff don't foul has fallen on.
Well, you know, it will be one thing which Tony Mowbray will be drumming into the players, especially.
The fingers crossed my channel gets monetised this time. Crikey, it's been a long wait.
This is wide, it's about halfway inside the Sunderland half. But of course, they've thrown the big.
Aye. So I'm not building me hopes up.
The beginning of December, his first game, he won Preston. He hasn't won any of the 9 league games and cup games since. The ball is headed out from the free kick by Danny Bart. There's a half-hearted appeal for a foul from, I think it's Chair, is it, or it's Field getting back, but it's fallen on deaf ears itself. As the ball is won back here and played into Eric Boonham. He's looking for Martin, but overhits the pass through into the penalty area, and it's behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. I can't for the life of me understand why clubs decide to put red numbers on blue and white hoops, because you cannot read the Queen's Park Rangers numbers.
But it'd be interesting because who plays in the
anybody hear me commentary? Okay, everything is fine and dandy.
He's the one who makes them tick. He pulls all the strings. Good player.
Yeah, Moroccan international, played at the World Cup. 4 goals this season, Ilias Chair. And now all the players over on this near side for this goal kick from Sunderland. Strong header.
I'm going to send a lot of love to my pigs trotters tonight. There we go.
And he nods it back to Patterson, all in green away to our left. And he rolls out the ball on his right-hand side to Ballard. Ballard bringing it out to Hume. Behind him is Roberts. He's having to battle for this with Eric Boonham, who's got the ball back behind him. And it's picked up and played out wide on that right-hand side again to Laird.
I just found out we're on the Sky Sports red button.
Down towards the corner. Played back into the middle here, but lost to Roberts. And Roberts now behind him to Ballard, who had to be quick because Roberts lost it, and Ballard had to come out and clear into touch on this near side.
Yeah.
I think he was just caught there.
I think he was caught, so he's won a free kick, hasn't he, Roberts? So a free kick which Ballard will take. I think Dazell's playing in the middle. Andre Dazell,
yes,
isn't
yeah, he is.
Alongside Irug Boonham. Then out wide, I think it's Field. Roberts trying to get the ball down the right here to Hume.
Did you see the picture I sent you? The hats somebody from Newcastle selling. I got the date wrong.
Possession, and out to the left here with Chair. Just behind him, Eric Boonham, but he's come back to.
Well, it's obviously a typo, isn't it? Instead of 2023, that's just typical of Newcastle. That's why he's selling them cheap, 20 quid.
Trying to get the ball up towards the edge of the penalty area. Chair, the nod down from Martin to Chair, but there's a foul by Queen's Park Rangers at the edge of the area.
They are on fire like the Man U, I will say that.
Another free kick to Sunderland.
I don't know about you, Nick. I don't like Pritchard playing in a central road in Middle Park. He's like a 10, and he really at times he can get on the ball. But closing down and doing that defensive side of him, that isn't Alex Pritchard's game, and we've got to be wary of that.
He seems isolated at the minute.
Yeah,
he's not getting any of the ball, is he?
I'd rather have Barr in there alongside 09.
Thanks for the subscription there, Trev. Cheers.
quarter of the Queen's Park Rangers half on the far side for the goal kick. Elise heads it on, headed away again by Laird, up to Martin on the halfway line, trying to nod it down for Jamal Lowe. Comes back into the centre circle. It's headed on by Parl, out to the right again and back. It's played to Dickey, and Dickey will drive this up towards Chris Martin, who gets his head on it but out for a throw.
Thanks for the subscription there, Trev. Cheers.
I'd rather have Clark playing wide left and let Pritchard just play behind Gildart, because he's a player who can get on the ball and pick passes out. Bring Barr in.
Hello.
We'll see if any change is affected as the half wears on. In the 9th minute, it's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 0. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. There's a throw from Elise, a long one down the left wing, headed away by Dickey, and nodded down, looking to try and get it.
Is Diallo not playing tonight?
It's been whacked long up towards Gelhardt, but it bounces away from him.
I wonder why that is.
The hands of Dieng, all in the sort of navy blue and black. The Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper, the Senegalese international. 1 goal to his name this season, of course. Laird picks it up on the far side, plays it inside, and it's Dazelle, I think it is, who plays it back to the goalkeeper. He drives it out to Parl on this left-hand side. Roberts goes to close him down. Dunn behind him, almost in the corner. He managed to sneak it out to Parl, plays it back inside to Dazelle, and Dazelle looking to switch it over to the right wing to Laird, and Laird.
Bloody hell, the Sky's just froze.
Right-hand side,
what is going on, Sky TV? I expect that from the dodgy Fire Stick, not from Sky.
Patterson to clear onto the head of Dazelle. Comes down here, or Eric Boonen.
Aye. Well, it's just froze, so I'm having to restart it again.
On halfway on the right, pushes it back.
I don't know the match. I've had to restart the match.
Back to Patterson at the edge of his D, the right-hand side. Now on the right to Ballard. O'Nien plays it away from Jamal Lowe to Danny Bart to Pritchard in central midfield, and back to Bart and back to the goalkeeper. He out to Luke O'Nien.
The match just totally froze on the red button.
Martin in front of him, just straight through the middle to Pritchard in the centre circle, and Pritchard looking out on his right wing for Hume, and a bit of a heavy touch, but he's managed to get there ahead of Chair and get the ball back to Ballard just inside the Sunderland half on the right. And now Pritchard on the halfway line, just right of the centre circle. But Eric Boonen wins it back and then wins a free kick as well. And this left of central midfield. Out it comes here to Parl, to Chair, back to Parl, and back to Chair, and again back to Dunn, across to Dickey.
Right, so that's fine. Where have you found that out, like, Anth?
Trying to get forward again to Lowe, a little tap back to Laird, who's tripped, and it's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers, just inside the Sunderland half on the right-hand side of central midfield.
He looks decent, doesn't he, Ethan, that Laird?
Yes,
the right back.
Yes.
Got good feet, bit of pace.
Good pedigree, of course, coming from Manchester United. He spent the second half of last season on loan at Bournemouth, so he knows the championship. So for the free kick, Queen's Park Rangers, of course, throwing all the big men up at the edge of the penalty area. It's driven towards Dickey and Dunn, and it's punched away and caught then by Anthony Patterson at the second attempt. And it's still 0-0.
Well, I don't know what Sky TV is doing. Come on.
Spot Rangers big men dropping back into their own half now. And then a foul on Roberts by Dazelle, pulling him down.
Picture just froze.
Right in front of Peter Banks, speaking to Andre Dazelle, son, of course, of Jason Dazelle, the former Ipswich midfielder. Both have the honour, if you like, of when they both made their senior debuts, his father and him, they scored on those debuts. The ball comes back to Danny Bart. Bart to O'Nien on the left-hand side, up towards the halfway line. Down goes O'Nien, free kick, quickly taken inside to Pritchard, and he's swept it up looking for Gelhardt. It's going to bounce away from him though on the 6-yard line and behind for a goal kick. Thumbs up from Joffy Gelhardt for the pass. But Clark, as yet, I'm not sure he's even touched the ball.
That's shite from Sky, like it really is crap from Sky.
You just feel as though he's just missing that little bit of spark. Well, Diallo, isn't he?
You what?
You know, when he gets on the ball, we know what he can do.
Well, the ball's been given away, and it is to Jack Clark, and he's trying to spin away.
Who's Luton playing? I'll have a look. Just give us a second, Jacob. All right, I'll have a look, mate. Hold on.
And they're on the break with Chair.
Hello, son and friends. What's the score? Greetings from Portugal. 0-0.
Coming through. Martin in the penalty area. Tried to square it for Chair, and it's cleared by Pritchard. Offside flag is up anyway.
Greetings from Scotland, Portugal.
Queen's Park Rangers.
Swift on the counter, and we struggle to get back, Nick. That is a worry.
Patterson then
to recover.
Free kick out to Luke O'Nien. 15th minute now, 0-0. Live here on BBC Radio Newcastle. It bounces off Chair. He couldn't quite control.
Hey, we're back up and running.
Swing it out to the wing. Powell's trying to get it down the left again to Chair. Tries to flick it in.
14 minutes and 5 seconds.
Inside to Ballard, and Ballard hooking it up towards Gelhardt, who had done all over him. But it's come up to O'Nien at the edge of his own area to bring down for Ballard. Back to O'Nien, and he's looking to pick out Elise on the far side. Closed down by Field, who's on his shoulder. But Elise's done well to hold him off the ball and slip it inside to O'Nien. And O'Nien now coming through the centre circle, finds Hume. Hume out to Roberts. Roberts now dribbling at Powell, goes past him into the centre. A block, but it's come through to Pritchard. And he tried to slip it through to Gelhardt. It's come back out to Roberts. Down the right of the penalty area, and it slips away.
Luton Town play Preston North End. I was going to give you some facts about that. I know the ground's deep, Dale, and they've got the Tom Finney stand. But they're still managing us, so they're having to fork out and see. Do you think the ex-Leeds manager will probably go to Preston?
He's got to be 6 foot as well.
Yeah.
Chris Martin, 6 foot. It's a big side.
No, I don't think it is it? I don't know.
Away by Danny Bart. Chair gets it down the left here now to Jamal Lowe. And he plays it back to Chair at the edge of the area, and now Eric Boonham, a block, his shot.
I don't know. I'll try and find out at full time anyway for you lads.
Trying to put it back in from the right side of the penalty area. It's come out though to Elise, and he's having to battle with Laird. He's got the better of him at the moment, and Barr on it from the centre circle to Roberts. Roberts out to Gelhardt, and Gelhardt now into Roberts, back to Hume. Barr's made a run forwards, but it's come back to Ballard. Ballard inside to Bart. Bart to Elise. Barr tracks back on the halfway line, taps it back to Bart. And now Danny Bart just behind the centre circle, into the centre circle to O'Nien. Back to Bart. And Bart.
I broke I broke records on my stream on Saturday. Like Jacob was in, like there was like 250 people watching, so I got 120 odd likes as well, and that's why I know, and that's why well Jamsani, who's a top bloke, he was doing it, but he was having problems with his stream. It was giving him feedback, and it was like echoing, so I think he cancelled it. So a lot of his traffic, I think, came across. But that's why I smashed the watch time hours. That's what you said it would.
Back to Dickey, out to Dazelle, back it comes to the goalkeeper.
I just pray to God it gets accepted. Like there's a lot of work gone into it, and I've waited like nearly 5 months.
He's kept it under the challenge, and now slips it through to Chair. And he's tried a couple of step overs to try and shake off Hughes.
What were you looking like, mate? Sunderland any goods here? What would you say, lads? Somebody in me chat's asking, what do you think, Sunderland? Are they doing all right so far in the opening 20 minutes?
Chair, his cross over the head of Martin. Field have made a run through. It's cleared into midfield again. It comes off the referee. Drop ball. And Peter Banks drops it to Dazelle. And back to Jimmy Dunn, out on the left to Powell.
Yep.
Out it goes for a throw.
It's not settled the game yet. It's hard to really judge, isn't it, how Sunderland's been sort of playing, because it's a bit scrappy.
Norwich 0.
Norwich 0, Hull 1.
Wow.
Got there
Same
in the
thing.
end.
Same thing.
Of course I can, James Langley. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Here at
James just said on my chat,
Hume,
absolute pile crap, what I've seen so far, but
up through the left
people are
of
saying
central midfield out
it's
to
because the service is there.
Elise. Down the line, it's gone to Clark. He's going to have to battle for this, but Dickie's got it back. And it's played out up to Low, keeps his feet, keeps the ball, gets it to Laird. Laird away on the right-hand wing here. He's going to try and cross for Chris Martin.
James Langley just says, can you do me a favour and shut up about Preston and Luton next sector and let me listen to the commentary of the team I'm interested in, Sunderland, eh?
He's got Low just inside him. Behind him is Laird with the cross.
Great header.
And it's headed away powerfully by Danny.
And then he's put another reply, says, do it then!
Back up towards the halfway line. And
He's got a very aggressive James Langley on that shot. Question for you, would you take a Middle East takeover? I saw one someone to buy Sun and imagine the Derby game would be epic. Middle East takeover had.
Norwich 1, Hull 1. It's been squared up at Carrow Road. 1-1. Elise with a throw. Just inside his own half on the left. And he's trying to find someone to make a move. Pritchard makes that move, takes it well on halfway, finds Hume. Hume on the right, out wide now to Roberts. Roberts taking it to the corner of the penalty area, dribbles in, loses it. Out it comes now to Chair. Chair, he's got no one to interplay with, is Roberts on that near side, and away comes Irog Boonham, and he slips it inside to Chair. And Chair now is blocked by O'Nien, back to Irog Boonham, who quickly picks himself off the floor, and then back from Powell to Irog Boonham, into the penalty area to Chair, pulls the ball back across the 6-yard box, but it's going to run away over on the far side from field. Back to Laird, a block by Clark, and a throw for Queen's Park Rangers. 21st minute, 0-0 still, back it comes to Dickie, cross through Dunn to Parle, and away goes Parle down the left, inside to Chair.
Billy Angus just says we don't need a multi-billion takeover to beat the Mags. We beat them when we had FR.
The centre for Stanfield. Now looking for Low shot. Hoping that Patterson had his eye on that because he stopped and the ball went just round.
Well, he was stuck. He was stopped. He hadn't. That was on target. It was a goal. And I think it's a little bit of a concern for Tony Mowbray, because they've got good pattern of play at QPR. They're moving the ball well, and us going forward, we are not a threat.
Neil Critchley, of course, was in charge at Blackpool and doing really well there, and then he left to join Stephen Gerrard at Aston Villa as his number 2, but of course Gerrard got sacked, and then Michael Beale left Queen's Park Rangers for Rangers, and Critchley back in as a manager in his own right. As the ball bounces up to Gelhardt.
Oh, he's
into
missed.
the side netting with his left. Right side of the 6-yard box, on the edge of it. It bounced through for him. Great opportunity, but he smashed it wide.
Is he left-footed?
He was then.
He's got to hit the target, Nick.
He had to.
You've got to hit the target. Great opportunity.
It was an opportunity, and it was crying out for him to smash it across the goal.
Yeah.
It's still 0-0 then. And the ball up the other end. Low chasing it, but it comes back to Patterson, who passes it out through the middle again to O'Nien. Hume's calling for it out here wide. Roberts in the middle of the two, gets it out to Hume eventually. Hume back inside to Roberts. Roberts trying to come round Irog Boonham, who's holding him off, and then he's left it for Pritchard, and Pritchard back to Ballard on halfway, down the right to Hume. Pritchard again, and he looks up, slips it into the penalty area. Gelhardt is beaten to it though by Dunn.
A lot better.
By Dickie, who smashes it behind. It's a corner to Sunderland.
Better movement off the ball by Sunderland.
Pritchard will take the corner here on the right hand side. We're halfway through the first half. It's goalless. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. The lady in front has not picked up her book yet.
This time.
And Pritchard will take this then. Players lined up outside the penalty area, the majority of them. And Pritchard curls this towards the penalty spot. Good header. It's just wide. It's another.
Always give a
goal
kick.
Ballard's looking for the corner. It's Ballard's header, but the referee has pointed to the goal kick. So still 0-0. AC Milan 1, Spurs 0 tonight in the Champions League. Dunn drives it over the halfway line. Ballard down to Hume. Hume gets the ball away from Martin. Back to Ballard across the face of the penalty area to Bart. And Bart in the centre. Barr at the edge of the centre circle. Back to O'Nien. Hume calling for it on the right. Barr a few yards ahead of O'Nien. Turns away into the Queen's Park Rangers half. Swings it across. Looking for Hume. Cut out by Powell, left for Chair, and they sprint away down this left-hand side again. Powell trying to get in front of Roberts, crosses, Bart clears. It'll bounce over Irog Boonham, gets it back down to Dunn, then to Dazelle, back to Dunn here on the left, and forwards again. Irog Boonham gets it back to Dazelle on halfway. Across to Laird on the far side, still on halfway. He taps it back to Dickey in the centre circle. Square pass on halfway to Dunn, and Jimmy Dunn coming forwards now out to the left-hand side, and it's played back here to Irog Boonham, given away, and Gelhart's run onto it. Clark's made a run through the middle, and Barr on the left-hand side. Barr cutting back into the middle. Pritchard's alongside him, but he gets it now to Elise, and Elise out wide to Clark. Clark, is he going to cross? He plays it inside to Pritchard instead, and then down the line again to Clark. Clark trying to cut in on his right foot now at the corner of the penalty area, goes down, the ball falls to Barr, taps it back to Pritchard, and down the left of the penalty area again to Clark. Clark trying to find a way through, just behind him Barr, teeing up Pritchard, trying to tee up O'Nien. O'Nien shoots, Dieng goes down,
nobody followed him.
Nobody to follow up, and Powell gets the ball clear, and eventually back to Barr on the halfway line. And O'Nien working it forwards again from the centre.
No,
it's come back out as they tried to get it forwards. Hume to Bart, and down the left to Elise, back to Bart again, and across to Ballard. Ballard taps it to Hume, into the centre circle to O'Nien, and O'Nien into Pritchard in the centre circle, through the middle to Barr, stabbed away from him though by Irog Boonham, across to the far side, where Barr trying to find Clark. Queen's Park Rangers get it away again, and now here is Ilias Chair again in the centre circle, turns back to Dazelle in the middle. Irog Boonham leaves it for Dazelle again, now Irog Boonham to Chair, and Chair to Dickey on halfway on the right hand side, out wide to Laird, back again to Dickey, across to Jimmy Dunn here on the left of the centre circle, and then Irog Boonham. He's got Roberts just in front of him, he gets it through straight to O'Nien. O'Nien now to Gelhart, down this right hand side. Gelhart is being closed down by Irog Boonham, who just cuts across the face of him, gets the ball off him easily, and then loses it to O'Nien. Thinks he's fouled, the referee doesn't. O'Nien skips towards the byline. There was a little touch on him and he could have gone down, but he didn't. He skipped through, and Seny Dieng just scoops up the ball.
And you just think, who do you think would do well in that position when we've just picked the ball up?
Ahmad.
Correct.
Dieng has the ball then. We're in the 28th minute. 0-0. Clark comes out to close Dieng down. It's driven down the left. It'll come out for a throw halfway inside the Sunderland half. There's a player just crouched at the moment. Is it Field?
Martin, is it? No?
I think no. Chris Martin's down to our left. It's Sam Field, I think.
Sam Field, yeah.
He's just gone down now, and he's going to get some treatment and stoppage.
You know, you look at the game and, you know, Tony Mowbray will be just thinking just a little bit better quality around that 18-yard box, see if we can a little bit more movement round there.
The 2 half chances, Gelhardt really, I think,
best one.
Was the best one. Should have done better. And then that O'Nien shot, it forced the save, but nobody there
gambling
to gamble, was there? No Ross Stewart in there to smash it home on the rebound, as Sam Field still receiving treatment here at the back of the centre circle. A reminder, Total Sport back tomorrow night from 6, and we'll have reaction from the game tonight, tomorrow night. Saturday we've got a double bill again. We've got Sunderland at home to Bristol City at 3 o'clock, followed by Newcastle at home to Liverpool at 5:30. Sam Field back up on his feet, but having to go off to the far side. Pritchard's jogged across and is having a word with Tony Mowbray, and they're in conversation on the far side. Alex Pritchard just waving his left arm sideways and still involved in quite a lengthy conversation over there, Alex Pritchard and Tony Mowbray. We're waiting for Hume to take a throw, and Pritchard eventually turns round and sprints back on, or jogs back on into the centre. Hume with a throw back to Ballard, taps it across to Patterson, and then to Danny Bart. And Bart strolling out with this really, and then deciding to play it over to Pritchard on the left, back to Bart and back to Patterson, and Patterson out to Ballard, and Ballard up towards the halfway line, straight to Roberts. He did well there under pressure from Bonham and Powell, and Elise's made a dash through the middle, but it's won back by Queen's Park Rangers. Dickey wrestles it off Roberts and plays it back to Seny Dieng. Dunn out to Powell on this left-hand side. Back again to Dunn at the edge of the penalty area, and forwards to Eric Bonham on the shoulder of O'Nien, and he's swung it over to Laird on the far side on halfway. Just getting back in front of him is Barr, inside to Dazelle on halfway, and Dazelle back to Dunn. Dunn on this left to Powell, looking for the run of Chair. Hume goes with him, Chair gets in front of him, and he's just knocked it out. He's taken it out in the corner for a throw to Sunderland. Hume takes it, finds Pritchard. Pritchard's pushed down by Chris Martin, and it's just holding his upper thigh, rubbing his top of his thigh. Pritchard in front of the referee, Peter Banks, strolls away now, and it's a free kick which Luke O'Nien will take. And it's a fair chance that this commentary is an accompaniment to many romantic meal tonight for Valentine's night. I noticed a few messages on social media that partners were going to try and switch the radios to us, rather than to another radio station playing soft music. Well, hopefully we're music to your ears instead. I couldn't exactly say the game's especially exciting,
especially for you.
Yeah. It needs a spark, doesn't it, somewhere?
It needs something.
Here's Ballard on the right-hand side. Back it goes to Patterson. Patterson in the D, out to Bart. And Pritchard's wide on the left. He's almost playing as a left-back at the moment. Elise's playing further forwards on the left. And Barr is in the middle now. Here is Roberts on the centre spot. Back to Ballard. And out to Hume on this right-hand side. Here's Gelhardt, out to Hume on the touchline. Back inside to Gelhardt, but again, it didn't get on the end of it. And Dunn's able to knock it back out on the left to Powell. And Powell takes it out as a throw to Sunderland on the on the right. Elise's dropped back to left back. Barr further forwards, Clark on the left, throw to O'Nien, out to Hume, back to O'Nien, brings it down on his left, trying to find Gelhardt at the corner of the penalty area, leaves it for Roberts, back to Gelhardt, back in the box to Roberts. Dieng goes down and just manages to touch it round the post.
Fantastic football. That's what Sunderland's all about. Great one-touch football. Good save by the goalkeeper.
He had to get down low. And it's a corner to Sunderland. It's their second corner. Pritchard down to take it again. This time everybody on the 6-yard line, +2, Ballard and Barr on the 18-yard line. In with his right foot, Pritchard, and down from Ballard.
He's got to score.
It's saved and stabbed home.
Goal.
Was that Luke O'Nien who stabbed it home?
Yeah.
Ballard. I'm sure it's O'Nien's goal. Ballard's header down. Dieng couldn't get his hands on it properly, and O'Nien was there to stab it over the line, and Sunderland lead 1-0. There's protests from the Queen's Park Rangers.
I don't know what they're
players,
protesting about.
But
it was a great header.
Didn't hold
it's a good save by the goalkeeper. He didn't hold it, and Luke O'Nien was first to react.
So Luke O'Nien was in the right place this time to stab the ball home on the line, and Sunderland lead by a goal to 0. Ballard's header setting that.
I don't know what they're waiting for. There's no VAR.
No, there isn't.
Huh? So the referee's not going to change his mind.
No. So 1-0 to Sunderland. Luke O'Nien with his first league goal of the season fires Sunderland into that 1-0 lead. Interesting to see how Queen's Park Rangers now react to that, bearing in mind the season they're having at the moment. Having gone now 1 down at home, and it's the Sunderland fans you can hear away to our left everywhere they go. Throw to Queen's Park Rangers on this left-hand side, back inside their own half. Back from Powell to the right side, Laird, and into O'Nien again, and back it comes to Dieng at the edge of his penalty area. Ian Smith, our rugby union commentator, his wife's a Sunderland fan actually. She wouldn't go out tonight, so apparently
she wouldn't.
We are the Simon and Garfunkel to his night. The dogs are walked, the log fire is on, tuna and veg cooking, and we're the soundtrack. As the ball comes back here to Ballard, who heads it out to O'Nien, and apparently everyone's happy now. And here is Sam Field trying to get the ball through here now in the penalty area to Martin. They can't tee it up. Too many red and white shirts. And it's cleared, and Martin eventually puts it.
Excellent defender, but Alex Pritchard's a lucky boy because he's the one who gave the ball away on the edge of the box. So, he's held his hand up.
So they got away with one, did they?
Yeah.
So 1-0 still to Sunderland. And it's being brought out by Danny Barr and played back to Patterson. Out again to Danny Barr, the corner of the penalty area, 38th minute now. Luke O'Nien's goal, the difference between the two teams. And the ball out for, I've not quite thought of us as Simon and Garfunkel, to be honest. Anyway, the ball down the left here is just kept in by Ballard on the touchline and played up now to Gelhardt. Gelhardt across to Elise. Barr's on the left ahead of him. Barr down that left-hand side, Clark inside and going through the middle, but the ball inside is cut out. But one back by Clark, and Clark now trying to get through 3 Queen's Park Rangers players. It's foul. And it's a free kick to Sunderland on the left side of central midfield, halfway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. BBC Radio Newcastle. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1. Pritchard takes it quickly down the left of the penalty area, trying to get it back in. It's Clark, but he's lost it, and now they're looking for a Chair to make a quick counter-attack. Gelhardt had to sprint back, and it's a block in the end by Roberts, and Roberts away down this right-hand side now for Sunderland in his red and white stripes, down the right and into the left of the back of the penalty area, back behind into Pritchard, and he scoops it across to Clark. Clark has got Elise on the overlap. Barr is ahead of him, but he's being forced out, and he has to play it back onto the halfway line, and Bart plays it back to Patterson in the middle of the Sunderland half in the 39th minute. Kick away towards the left, headed in to Clark by Elise. Elise's trying to follow up down the left with a cross, headed away off the head of Gelhardt, but the flag is up, is it?
It's got a free kick.
It's a free kick.
So let's see. Against Clark, high foot.
Clark penalised.
Yeah.
In a free kick. And so play goes on. Eric Boonham across now to Parle on this left-hand side, and back it goes to Dazelle. Dazelle out wide to Laird, and back to the edge of the penalty area. Dickey trying to get it out away to Laird on the right-hand side again, and he plays it back to Dickey, and he puts one up.
Good pressure
onto the roof of the executive boxes on that far side. Thankfully, most of the game's been played with the ball below 20 feet in the air, because we've got a huge TV gantry across our faces above that height, where the ball disappears. It's a throw for Sunderland. Elise with this halfway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half.
We need somebody to throw it to.
He's looking for Clark down the line. Back to Elise, but stabbed away, but only into the path of Clark. Inside to Barr, and he's fouled. Queen's Park Rangers getting a little bit rattled now with the one down and starting to give free kicks away around their penalty area. Into the last 5 minutes of the first half, Sunderland leading through Luke O'Nien's goal. Set piece goal as well, technically, because it was corner, and Ballard from that corner heading it for Dieng to.
We don't say that often,
basically on the line. No, we don't. Well worked actually, because it's completely different from the first one. And now another set piece, a free kick which Pritchard will take. Everybody lined up at the edge of the penalty area, bar one or two, and Pritchard drives this in, but into the arms of Dieng. And Dieng went to kick, Elise was in his way, he throws it out to Laird, who's closed down by Barr, he slides in and knocks the ball out for a throw to Queen's Park Rangers on the right in the 42nd minute now. Well, the goal was that was the spark we needed, I think.
The game needed it, didn't it?
It did.
Really.
Out here on the left, Dunn, back into Dazelle, just at the front of his D. Brings it over across to Dickey on the right, and Dickey back to Dazelle, across to Dunn here on the left, and they're working it slowly up towards the halfway line, and then into the Sunderland half to Chair, forced back by Hume, who gives him a little shove in the back. Gets
come on the lads, come on the lads.
Looking for Boonham or
thank you for the subscription there, thank you. Cheers.
On this left-hand side, but now Eric Boonham does pick up a loose ball from Ballard, trying to clear it out to Powell, looking for Eric Boonham down in the corner, but Ballard slides in and concedes a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. 10-15 yards from the corner on the left-hand side in the 43rd minute. It's dropped to Chair. He's lost it to Roberts. Roberts now trying to hold it and playing it off Chair for a throw.
Good work. Defensive work there by Roberts.
He's tracked up and down the touchline, Roberts. Throw then, which Hume.
Am I right in saying QPR were pace setters in the Championship earlier this season at the beginning?
Towards the halfway line, Dunn heads it down to Powell, through to Eric Boonham, who's firmly tackled by O'Nien. Now to Clark in the middle, and away goes Barr ahead of him. Barr down that left-hand side. He's got Gelhardt in the middle. Barr now at the corner of the penalty area, rolls it back to Pritchard in the middle, and Pritchard out to Clark again on the left of the penalty area, trying to take it into the box now and back.
Has Preston ever been in the Premier League?
He tried to keep it down, it's blocked.
Unlucky.
At the edge of the D, and it's come out for a throw, which Elise will take on the far side, a third of the way inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. Bit of movement now, Barr's jogged back.
Who's that?
Pritchard's there too. The referee's trying to get Elise to take the throw, which he did to Pritchard. Now it's a battle on the touchline for the ball.
Oh, it was the League Cup that won.
Rangers this time for a trip over on that far side. The 44th minute.
It was the League Cup that won.
1-0 to Sunderland. Here's Dunn out on this left-hand side to Powell. And back to Dunn. It's funny, isn't it? When we were here last season in the League Cup, and Sunderland beat Queen's Park Rangers, and they were going well, Queen's Park Rangers. Little did we know, sort of a year and a half on, that Sunderland would be finding it as comfortable as they are in the Championship.
Well, again,
they showed it that night.
It was a good leveller for us as well, because we were saying to ourselves at the time to see if we could cope with a Championship team.
And we did. Here is Powell on the left. Roberts goes to close him down. Back to Chair, a few yards behind. We're in the last minute of the first half. Keeping an eye on Will Finney, the fourth official on the far side. It's into Lowe in the penalty area.
Peer setters, I don't know. But QPR was certainly up there in September, October. Brian Hughes says Preston were in the top flight of the old Division 1.
A combination of Gelhardt and Roberts. And then Gelhardt
With Tom Finley.
On the halfway line, but Dunn gets there ahead of him. He tries to find Irag Boonham. Back from him to Dunn and into Dazelle, who switches wings out to Laird on the far side. And back it comes to Dickey, across to Dunn. We've got 2 minutes of added time. And Dunn back to Dazelle.
Yeah, Finley's his brother.
He drives the ball down the right wing. He's looking for Laird's run. Elise's gone back with him, and Laird's gone round him but can't control it and knocks it behind for a goal kick. 1-0 Sunderland lead going into the last minute and a half of the first half. Patterson retrieves the ball in front of the Sunderland fans, plonks it down on the 6-yard line, and all the players heading towards the quarter just inside the Queen's Park Rangers half on the Sunderland right. Patterson with his right foot follows with the ball onto the head of Dunn above Hume. Back it comes though from Ballard, and Dunn again, powerful header up towards Martin, who gets his head on it, but Elise will tidy up, steers it away from Jamal Lowe. And
so lads, what do you think of Sunderland first half performance then?
Headed away by Dunn.
Any changes would you make? Anything to strengthen up, would you? Or?
He's going to have a word with Luke O'Nien, isn't he?
Luke or Pritchard, which one? Luke. It's Pritchard he's talking to. I think it was Pritchard he rolled over.
Picks on the smallest one.
Yeah. 30 seconds left.
You're never going to get a really good performance every single game. I mean, how many top teams even in the Premier League, not to the best, but they've won.
Just inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, up to the edge of the area. Good strong header out by Danny Barr. Over on the far side, it's Gelhardt on the left wing trying to win a throw, which he does. 5 seconds left of the 2 minutes. And
no, we haven't got it yet. We haven't got it yet.
Half time. Elise gathers the ball, and the referee.
No, not even that.
Doesn't even let him take the throw. But Sunderland will go in at the break, leading 1-0. A bit of opportunism from Luke O'Nien after Ballard's header was half saved, partly saved by Dieng on the line, but he didn't get his hands fully on.
Lahaji on at half time, says Liam 757.
I think there was someone else on his shoulder as well. I think it might be Roberts, but O'Nien got his foot to it.
Give Roberts a rest.
Yeah, you know, look at that first half, and you know it's a game which. Yes, bet Sunderland.
Right, I'm just going to get a bite to eat. I'll be back in a second.
A 4-2-4 to match them. You know, and at times when Roberts is on the ball, Geldart should have done better with his opportunity. I think he should have.
Yes, social media. Will do.
Target. There's another one what's come off 09. It's come off the goalkeeper. We didn't react, but the one from the set play where the keeper's made a great save from the header, but Luke 09's reacted quickly and poked the ball in.
I'm not fully convinced the system is
No, it's not, because again I just feel a little bit uncomfortable with Pritchard in the middle. You know, Tony Mowbray's talked about Luke 09, is he a midfield player or not? He does a job in there, but one thing which he has brought to that midfield is that he's got shots away. He's had, you know, 2 or 3 efforts, and he's got a goal, and that's, you know, that's a department what we're looking at that we need more goals from, and we've said it time and time again, especially when you haven't got the likes of Ross Stewart in your team. You've got to pull the trigger, especially outside that 18-yard box.
And it's also been a good chance for Tony Mowbray to try something different. He's been given an opportunity, he's taken it, and it's actually, you know, he can say, well, it's been worth it. They're one up, and he's still got Ahmad on the bench if he wants to bring him on.
And that's what we've got to do, Nick. You know, for the end of the season, we've got to mix and match, haven't we? We cannot be predictable. You know, people are expecting us to play Diallo all the time, Diallo and Roberts combination. Sometimes we've got to mix it up and, you know, get the opposition to think. You know, today, excellent the way they've set up. You know, it's good to see that we've gone in a 4-2-4. You know, usually we have 3 in the middle, but we've just gone 4-2-4. And, you know, it's working at the present moment, but we've still got to concentrate defensively.
Yeah, and we're yet to see what reaction we're going to get in the second half from Neil Critchley's team. He needs a reaction now, with his team being 1 down. Well, we've got the full second half, of course, to come on SAFC.com and BBC Radio Newcastle. At the break here at Loftus Road, it's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1.
Love is in the house.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Tom is here.
A lady magnet.
You are writing poems for people, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Phil says, from Phil to Jeanette, we both enjoy music, having a laugh, and we both have fun personalities.
Jeanette, you're the best a man can get. I love your personality and how you always have a laugh. And thankfully, you don't like rap music because it's a little bit naff.
Again? How are you single, Tom? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I know.
I'm struggling.
The sound of the Northeast at breakfast. BBC Radio Newcastle, making a difference in the Northeast.
More than friends.
This is Dominic James back in the BBC Radio Newcastle studio. Half time then at Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1. Luke O'Nien with the Black Cats goal after just 34 minutes gives them the lead at half time. A few other championship games this evening as well. At St Andrews, it's goalless between Birmingham and Cardiff, also goalless between Coventry and Millwall. Norwich and Hull a 1-1 at the break, and Burnley Watford also goalless, and Reading Rotherham also goalless, although the Burnley and Watford and Reading and Rotherham were 8 o'clock. Kickoffs in the Champions League tonight, also kicking off at 8 o'clock, was AC Milan and Tottenham. AC Milan 1-0 up after 33 minutes there, and it's goalless between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. Full card in League 1 and League 2 tonight, and Accrington Stanley 1-0 down at half time to Wycombe Wanderers. Josh Scone, of course, the former Sunderland man there, scoring. Bolton 3-0 up over MK Dons. Bristol Rovers and Ipswich goalless, as are Cambridge and Cheltenham. Lincoln City away to Derby 1-0 up there. Exeter Shrewsbury goalless at half time. Fleetwood 1-0 up over Peterborough United. Forest Green Rovers 1-0 down to Charlton. Oxford and Plymouth are 1 each at half time. Barnsley 2-1 up over Port Vale goalless between Portsmouth and Burton Albion. And Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 up over Morecambe in League 2 tonight. Bradford at home to Tranmere 1-0 up. They're still playing in the first half. Half-time score there between Mansfield and Carlisle. Carlisle 4-0 down at half-time. They're goalless between Colchester United and Walsall. Crewe are 2-0 up over Hartlepool United. Jamie Sterry, though, was sent off for Hartlepool after just 13 minutes there. Doncaster Rovers 1-0 up over Barrow. Gillingham goalless with Grimsby. Leyton Orient 2-0 up over Rochdale. Newport County 1-1 with Stevenage. Northampton Town goalless At half-time with AFC Wimbledon, it's 0-0 between Salford City and Harrogate, 1s each between Stockport County and Crawley Town, and Swindon Town 1-0 up over Sutton. At half-time we have one game in National League for us. Gateshead are away to Oldham Athletic, and it is goalless there. The only other thing locally football-wise for us was South Shields, riding high at the top of the Northern Premier League. They are away to Gainsborough Trinity, and 1-0 up at half-time. Robert Briggs with the goal after 12 minutes for the Mariners. In that one, a few other local sport lines for you today. And in cricket, Durham have signed the Dutch all-rounder Bas de Leede. The 23-year-old has signed a 2-year deal. He bats in the top order and bowls right-arm medium pace. He will also be available for all three formats of Durham's cricket season, including the County Championship, T20 and One Day Cup. De Leede was the Netherlands' leading wicket taker for the T20 World Cup just last year in November. 13 dismissals in that competition. And in snooker today at the Welsh Open, Gated Elliott Slasser lost 4-0 against Lucas Brazil, the Belgian there, and Newcastle Sam Craigie lost 4-2 to Scotland's Anthony McGill. Elsewhere though, today, and going back to football, the former Sunderland director Charlie Methven has told the BBC he still has high hopes of completing a deal to acquire Charlton Athletic. The current Charlton owner, Thomas Sangard, said on Thursday the deal was off on the day the purchase was set to be completed. Methven though has been talking to BBC Radio London.
It's true that Charlton is in a difficult place given its history. When one of my partners in this deal and me first got involved in Oxford United, it was in the conference, having originally been a top division club, and that club is now back in League One. And when we got involved in Sunderland, Sunderland was a League One club. It's now in the top 8 or 9 in the Championship. So these are challenges that we enjoy. They're not easy. It's not. They aren't the type of jobs which you take for a big round of applause. There are some tough decisions that have to be made along the way. But the satisfaction of restoring clubs to their rightful positions, or at least get them back on the road to their rightful positions in the pyramid, is a really great challenge and a really interesting challenge. And of course, one can't disguise the fact that, of course, that means acquiring clubs perhaps at a lesser value than might be the case if they were at the peak of their powers, and that's a fact of the matter. So it's an interesting challenge, an interesting business opportunity, but of course the business opportunity only becomes good business if you actually succeed and get the club promoted and get its finances sorted out and get things straight.
You said that you want to buy the club. You've never hidden away from that, and you want to hopefully resuscitate the deal. Bring it back to life. Charlie, what happens now? I mean, what is the ideal outcome? Will it be talking to Mr. Sangard, talking to Charlton, and looking to try and reinvigorate things?
Well, as I said, it's very much a question of speaking to Mr. Sangard, not speaking to Charlton. This is operating at a holding company, which is a level above Charlton Athletic Football Club. And at the moment, there wouldn't even be any management at Charlton necessarily to speak to. So it is a question of speaking to Mr. Sangard, and I hope and pray that Mr. Sangard will perhaps see the force of our arguments and pick up the phone to me and say, hey, look, it's been a tough few days. I hope you'll understand and give me the time to come back to you with some further discussion points and a way forward on this. And then he would find us all ears if that was the case. There's no point in holding petty bitternesses and resentments about these things. Obviously, it's been a tough weekend and a difficult time, but if Thomas Sangard comes back to the table and says that he wants to fulfill the deal,
chuck a potato,
then we will fulfill the deal.
That is the former Sunderland director Charlie Methven after the deal
with fermented caramelised onions.
Last Thursday.
Beautiful.
Away from that though, and to referees now, hundreds of grassroots football refs.
And I've got just underneath this little potato as well, 2 little bits of chicken gristle.
Dissatisfied with the current measures to tackle abuse. Nearly 300 of the respondents said they'd been physically abused by spectators, players, coaches, or managers. Some described being punched, headbutted, and spat at. The president of the Referees Association in England distributed the questionnaire to over 7,000 of its members, says that abuse is so widespread it's having a significant impact on their mental health. Andy Ambler is the director of the professional game, the Football Association, and has been speaking to the BBC today.
This is a real issue that we need to discuss. Am I shocked? No. We hear it from our referees, and 28,000 referees who say that we look after from the FA's point of view, and we need to make sure that they are operating in a more friendly and an environment which is safer, an environment which is.
So do you want to see what social media's been saying?
Without fear of abuse. We were launching a campaign called Enough is Enough. We've launched that within the FA that looks at greater sanctions and taking responsibility.
So then, on half-time, Sunderland are leading 1-0. One solid performance so far. Took them having a great chance for us to wake up, but being on the much better team after the first 15 minutes. Much better from Gelhardt since the last game as well. Seems to graft hard and pops up everywhere. We deserve to be ahead. Sky Sports streaming a game like it with a potato. Jack Clark loses the ball in possession too much for me, and is more bothered about his hair pulling up his shorts and sorting out his socks out. Not a biggest fan. Jack Clark.
It seems to be getting to the point where
I'd like to see Benetti come on for Clark. Hume and Ballard are class-like. And one more. A few changes on the 60-minute mark. I reckon get Ahmad and Dan Neil on and go for it. And Ballard has been class as usual. So there we go. Pretty much positive stuff.
Their role as referee become the best they can be. Yeah, we are worried, but at the moment, actually, our numbers are up. The 28,000 is up from 27,000 last year. So we don't seem to be having an issue with attracting new referees, but you're absolutely right in the cohort that we think we've got to protect. And we need to make it everyone's responsibility who loves the game to make sure these young referees are supported and be able to become, as I say, the best they can be and enjoy the game. Sanctions is something that we're always constantly aware of. I think the sanctions for, if you look at physical or assault, I think there was 70 of those. It's thankfully last year, Rick. I think it is rare, but not rare enough. But when we look at those types of incidents, we do have a minimum 10-year suspension from the game. But sanctions for abuse, for verbal abuse, vary up and down the country. But we are looking at reviewing that and making sure that we drive that out of the game. But I've got to look at the parents and the coaches on the field of play and the stories you've had about people, talking under sevens game when they're getting verbal abuse, not just of referees but of other players. It just means the game we love and we care for is in danger. Without referees turning up on a Sunday morning or a Saturday afternoon, we're not going to be able to play the game that we love.
That's Andy Amler there, the director of the professional game of the FA, talking to the BBC today here on BBC Radio Newcastle. We're going to be heading back to Loftus Road for second half commentary in just a moment. But just a reminder, here on Total Sport, we're going up to 10 o'clock.
What, the half time?
Text messages in to us after the game, 81333. Start your messages with the letters BBC. I'll put your messages.
I reckon it's mixed. I think we started off all right, and then we went on a bit of a blip where we started letting a few in. We seem to be getting a whack together. We do seem to be difficult to break down again, which is nice.
On the 18-yard line, in with his right foot, Pritchard, and down from Ballard. It's saved and stabbed home. Was that Luke O'Nien who stabbed it home? Yeah. Ballard, I'm sure it's O'Nien's goal. Ballard's header down. Dieng couldn't get his hands on it properly, and O'Nien was there to stab it over the line, and Sunderland lead 1-0.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
And the players out here for the second half, but Queen's Park Rangers about to make a change here. I'm wondering if Sinclair Armstrong...
I bet Kai, I bet.
Or is it Kai?
No,
it's Laird, and it is Kai who's coming on. So Ethan Laird, who is on loan, the right back from Manchester United, is being replaced by Kai. And it's a straight swap. So I wonder if Laird picked up
I think he might have took a knock. I thought he was doing okay.
I thought he was as well. So one change then, that's made by Queen's Park Rangers. Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, Ballard, Bart, Elise, O'Nien, Bart, Roberts, Pritchard, Clark and Gelhardt. And Queen's Park Rangers, Dieng in goal. Now we have Kakai right back, Dickey, Dunn and Powell, Dazelle, field, Eric Boonham, the young lad on loan from Aston Villa, chair. Chris Martin alongside Jamal Lowe, who's on loan himself from Bournemouth, the striker up front. But Sunderland obviously leading 1-0 in their red and white stripes, black shorts, red socks. Defending the goal away to our right, Queen's Park Rangers in their blue and white hoops, white shorts and white socks. Here with
Kevin would have said, you'll stream the match and commentary every game on YouTube. Overworking in Germany at the moment, having a nightmare and listening to it. I hope your shift goes well, mate. And thanks for tuning in.
Out it comes on the left for Powell, the Suriname international, and back here to
Tony Mowbray is making excuses for Gelhardt, says Telly. I mean, are we being hard on the lad?
Has got hold of it.
On Gelhardt.
Off though, Elise says he tried to cross, and a possible break for Barr, but Kakai is going to get there first. The Sierra Leone international. Clark chases the ball back. Dieng gets the ball clear, but he could be back.
Take off Gelhardt, says Brian Hughes, and put Pritchard. Take off Gelhardt, Pritchard, and Barr. Bring on Ekwar, Diallo, and Sirkin.
Crashes off. Well done, Gelhardt from Powell on that far side behind. And Gelhardt conceding the goal kick. But now here out to Dazelle again. And out on the right to Dickey. Through to Dazelle. Forwards.
All it needs is that one goal to change a player's confidence.
And he's played it across to Dunn. And Dunn in the middle, short again to his right, squares it to Dickey, and Dickey drives this on, looking for the run of Jamal Lowe, headed away by Bart. Bart's trying to get the right side.
It won't end up like that.
Round Kakai, but out it goes off for a Sunderland throw. This pretty much on halfway. Elise right down below us here, and there's tight.
Liam, I'm having jack potato or caramelised fermented onions. Lovely.
Back to Bart. Chris Martin gives chase. It's laid back off to.
Second half now, says
Patterson.
Adam.
Martin tried to close it down. Out it comes to Elise, heading it on. A little flick forwards by Clark, trying to get Barr away, but Kakai is there. Plays it back to Dieng. Out in the middle to Dazelle. He was quickly closed down by Gelhardt and Clark, but now picked up again by Dazelle. Gelhardt goes with him, forwards to O'Nien, to Gelhardt. Gelhardt now has Roberts down the right-hand side into the penalty area. Roberts on to his right, trying to cross this onto the 6-yard line for Clark or O'Nien, but it's cleared. It will come back at them though, perhaps. Pritchard out wide now again.
It's only an issue, Gelhardt not scoring if no one else is scoring, says Michael Hadley. So yeah, good point.
Trying to get on the end of it, but Queen's Park Rangers win it back again. And they play it up towards the halfway line. Martin.
See, Roberts, he likes to cut in on the right, doesn't he, Patrick Roberts? He likes to do his trademark, cutting in the right and cause an absolute hell on in the defence.
Off the ball there by Sunderland.
They're scurrying and hurrying Queen's Park Rangers. And now here they come again. O'Nien out on the right.
I don't know why the Sunderland fans are giving Clark lots of stick. I like this. I like his attitude. I think he's a good player. I can't really fault him.
It comes to Barr, out to Elise, forwards to Barr, inside to Pritchard on the halfway line. And back through Elise to Bart and back to Patterson in green, away to our right, and a big kick.
I'd rather have that than the player that just goes sideways and backwards all the time.
Bounces in the centre circle, comes down for Barr. Barr turns, pushing it through now. Gelhardt trying to get in through past Dunn, but Dunn holds his ground with him. And out comes Dieng to gather the ball.
Would you be happy with a point tonight if we finish 1-1?
In the 50th minute, live here on BBC Radio Newcastle. On the left, Powell, Kenneth Powell, the Dutch-born Suriname international, and eventually just tapped out by Ballard for a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. 10 yards from the corner on the left.
How far behind would you say quality-wise are Sunderland compared to the likes of Burnley, Sheffield United, and that?
Takes Powell out of the game effectively, and has come back now to Dazelle, just inside the Sunderland half. Cut out his ball forward by Pritchard, and away goes Clark.
He tried to,
get past the last man, Dickey, who stood his ground and gets the ball clear. only to Pritchard.
But it means his confidence. It's like I say, it's, you know, Blaine Richardson said, no, do not want to draw, want 3 points.
Words for Clark, trying to haul him up to his feet and then pushing him back over again. Referee is blown, but it's going to be a throw to Sunderland on the left. The referee having a word with Clark, pointing back up towards...
Is this the same team we drew 2-2 and they scored like 2 goals in the last 2 minutes?
Rangers captain now as well. Former West Bromwich Albion.
They don't look half the team.
Sandfield. 5 years with the Baggies, joined Queen's.
But saying that, if I remember the stadium like, we absolutely murdered them for the majority of the game.
Clark again, trying to get forwards. It's played by Bart over to the right, looking for the run of Hume, and Roberts trying to win it, knocked down though for
Julie Dodd says yep.
Powell back to Dickey, and then the higher ball played up towards Martin to try and head on for Lowe, but knocked away by Ballard out to Hume. Hume trying to get away, he's tackled, and forwards comes Powell, plays it inside, but one back by Sunderland. Pritchard, he's played it out though, for a throw to Queen's Park Rangers on the far side. Down to Sunderland, 52nd minute. Queen's Park Rangers throw half.
Can anybody have a look and see how Carlisle United's getting on? They're at home to Mansfield.
Taking their time about this at the moment. Comes some support.
Clark just needs to become consistent, says Michael.
From Chris Martin back into the centre circle almost. Dazelle to the left, picked up by Dunn, wide to Powell, back again to Dazelle on the halfway line with Dickey here and Field. Field now with his left, swinging over to Powell, chests it down, looking for Ira Boonan, and trying to get it forwards. O'Nien has fouled, and a free kick to Sunderland, and Chris Martin trying to stop Sunderland taking a quick free kick. Chris Martin, 1 league goal this season for Bristol City.
Oh my God, Carlisle's getting beat 4-0. Christ almighty.
Scored here on his debut against Millwall. Do you remember who that was against?
Jesus Christ. They were 4-0 down after half an hour.
Sorry, Nick, I just was watching.
What a nightmare.
Chris Martin's got 1 goal before he arrived here and scored at the weekend for...
Would have been against Sunderland.
It was, yeah. 2 goals this season, Chris Martin. 1 against Sunderland and 1 at the weekend here against Millwall. Dazelle tapping it back to Dunn. It's all inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. Dickey.
Bit of unrest amongst the supporters, isn't there?
Yes, you can sense it. It's 10. I mean, they're 1-0 down, Queen's Park Rangers, and they've not really laid a finger on Sunderland in the second half, really, around the penalty areas. Chair trying to get through, tries a shot, caught by Patterson. First thing he's really had to do, I think. That coming in the 54th minute.
Yeah, comfortable save by Patterson.
Straight at him. 1-0 still then to Sunderland, leading with that 34th minute.
You're going to get a fucking for that.
Goal.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, only conceded 4 in the last 6 games, and then 4.5. That's football. It's a funny game, but disappointing that, like, because Carlisle do need to get a win. The last 2 games, obviously they've drew 1, they've lost 1, then drew 1, and they're pushing for the top 3. They need to start picking 3 points up.
Patterson's over him. Is it 09? Yeah, it's 09. Yeah, Ballard's just behind him. 09 just limping.
Mike Hadley, in my opinion, we need at least 3 to 4 quality players to be on par with the likes of Burnley. Yeah, I would say you're right there.
Ballard will take this. Referee.
Yeah, I know.
Low and then a pat on his back. Peter Banks is the referee, all in black tonight. His last Sunderland game was back in 2019. That night of biblical weather at Barnsley, which ended 0-0. And Ballard takes the free kick up towards the corner of the penalty area. Gelhardt, Barr trying to get on the ball, slash at it to try and clear it from Dickey, but they don't get it away until they now get it up towards Martin.
I wasn't expecting that, like.
Sunderland half. On to O'Nien as Sunderland get it clear. And now is that a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers for a foul by Pritchard on the far side, just inside the Sunderland half. The referee's just gone across and ushered Roberts away. Powell taps it back to Dunn, inside to Zell, just left centre circle, now to Dickey, closed down by Clark, a few yards forward to Zell, out to Kakai on the right and wide again to Sam Field. He swings it into the middle looking for Chris Martin, and he lays it off on the left-hand side now for Chair, trying to turn away from O'Nien. O'Nien gets the tackle in. Ball comes back though to Dunn, and Dunn forwards here again on the left. Eric Boom gets it to Powell, whose cross is cleared by Ballard. Back up towards the halfway line. Field nods it down to Dickey, and Dickey plays it to Field again on the left. Chased by Gelhardt, out wide to Powell. Powell back again onto the halfway line, and Dazelle plays it back here now to Dickey, and Dickey turns, plays it inside in the centre circle.
QPR having a good spell here, like. Oh, well held, Patterson.
Dunn now again switching, but playing it straight into the hands of Anthony Patterson.
Yeah, and Diallo's warming up as well now.
57th minute, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1. Here on BBC Radio Newcastle, the ball lifted out neatly by Ballard to Hume on the right. In his own half still, up to Roberts, back to in the end Lowe. Tries to get it through to Martin, who laid it back off to Lowe. Lowe now cutting to the right into the penalty area. Great tackle by Elise. Rolls the ball out though to Kakai to cross back in here, and Patterson catches it and gets a real shot in the back from Chris Martin.
Julie Dodds, we need another goal. They won't do the same again like they did at the stadium in Light.
Yeah, he was under considerable pressure behind him from Chris Martin. Scottish international. Now Patterson, Chris Martin just stands.
He's had a call up, hasn't he? He's had a call up for the under 21s. He's had a call up, Patterson, for the under 21s, hasn't he?
Right, headed on that far side and out though for a throw to Queen's Park Rangers.
Come on, Rosie. Come on, Rosie. You're due to say 2-0 in a minute. How are?
And Powell inside to Eric Boonham again, and back it comes to the edge of their own area, and out from Dickey to the halfway line, held there for a moment by Field, who plays it back inside. Dazelle now.
Paul Mellish, welcome. He says we need Ahmad on pronto.
In the centre circle, Field back to Dazelle on the Eric Boonham on the left-hand side. Dazelle just behind him. Here he is, Dazelle. And
Gelhardt.
Then out wide on the right to Kakai. Takes it on his chest, trying to shake off Barr, and Barr, then it's gone to Dickey to cross, and a drop behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. 1-0 still then to Sunderland, and we're in the 59th minute.
Not being greedy, Nick, I just think we just need that second goal.
Yes.
Put this game to bed.
Yeah.
Gary Bennett just says we need that second goal. Do you think he's right?
Kick then, tapped out to Bart, back to Patterson, and then he drives it up over the halfway line looking for Gelhardt. It's headed clear by Dunn, bounces back Hume trying to get a foot on it. I think Martin's claiming it was a high boot, but it's turned back by Hume to Bart, and out here on the left hand side to Elise.
Go on, Elise, son.
Trying to shake off Field, and he's shaken him off.
Right,
gets the ball inside here now to Barr. Taps it back to Pritchard. He's swung it over on the right hand side. And Roberts just took his eye off it for a second, runs underneath him and goes out for a throw to Queen's Park.
We've just had breaking news from the NASA Science Laboratories that the Gary Bennett psiometer is only 27% tonight. So there we go.
Out come Queen's Park Rangers again with a wild.
Paul Mellish, we need another 3. We need Laji and Equa on, some height and some power, says Liam757, and Paul Mellish says we need another 3. Wouldn't complain with that.
Benno says, and now here they have to defend again. Dunn at the back. The Queen's Park
Thank you.
corner of his penalty area. Back to Dieng, out to Dunn again on that far side. Out to Eric Boonham, the 19-year-old on loan from Aston Villa. Plays it across the 18-yard line to Dickey. Dickey being chased by Clark up towards the halfway line, looking for Field. Field has Kakai wide on the right here, and he's now trying a couple of step-overs and just slips it inside to Jamal Lowe. He crosses, and Martin trying to get his foot round it, turns it out, and it's a goal kick. He's furious, he thinks it's a corner. The referee's having none of it.
Going to make a change, Sunderland.
And it's still 1-0 to Sunderland. Ahmad, I think it is on the far side, who is getting ready to come.
Just a massive thanks to everybody in the chat today. Thanks for tuning in.
White stripes. Here's O'Nien, a short pass out from Bart, out to Elise, back to Danny Barr, and back to Patterson. And Patterson now drives the ball up into the Queen's Park Rangers half over Gelhardt.
I don't want to put a dampener, I don't want to put a curse on things, but I'm not feeling threatened by QPR, are you?
Dieng rolls it out to Dunn. Dunn drives this on down the right.
And the QPR comes up there and QPR scores. It's 1-1.
Just inside the Sunderland half. Rolls it to Eric Boonham.
Stu's banned from the channel.
Tackled by O'Nien. Chair's got it. And Chair out to the right wing now to Kakai. Kakai tries to cross. Blocked by Elise. And Ahmad, I think it's Ahmad, it could be Bennett, we're not sure. It's over on the far side. The board comes out, and it is Ahmad, and it's Barr that's going on.
Why?
So this first change for Sunderland coming in the.
Why is he getting excited?
Pritchard's gone wide, hasn't he?
Oh,
Clark's gone wide.
I've cursed it, haven't I?
Kakai with a throw to Field, back to Kakai. Back to Field, wide on the right.
I've cursed it.
Cross into the penalty area. Elise put a foot on it. It's not cleared. Chair trying to get it at the edge of the area. O'Nien's whipped it off, and then slayed off now by Gelhardt to Pritchard, who's tripped on the halfway line by Field.
I don't. It's not 1-1. It's not 1-1.
He was away.
He was away. He's taking one for the team there.
Rosie, don't be a naughty girl. Don't be a naughty girl.
Halfway line. Chair is having a word with the referee, or I should say Peter Banks is having a word with Ilias Chair. Pritchard will take the free kick. And this just on the left of the centre circle, 2 yards inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. 64th minute, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
Kieran Mutzik tuned in and subscribed. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you. And Rosie, please no more of them antics, please.
Down towards the corner, keeps his foot on it on the touchline, tries to come past Kakai. He's done that. He's got the ball back to Clark. He crosses. The ball headed by Dickey out to Eric Boonham on the penalty spot. It's nodded down by Ballard. Comes into the path of Roberts. He's got support from Hume. Hume's cross took a deflection, which was caught by Dieng off the head.
Get Ahmad on. Get this game stretched. And get this something different. I'm just reading something on chat. Yeah, Ahmad is on. He is on. He is on.
Chair's made a run into the penalty area on the right, but his cross is headed behind by Ballard. And Queen's Park Rangers have their first corner.
I think they'll question something in the middle of park as well. Maybe bring Dan Neil on for Pritchard in there.
Well, it's none in the Championship. It's absolutely nothing in the Championship.
On this right-hand side, Chair with Lowe, and Chair decides to go on down the right to the goal line, pulls it back to the far post, and has gone for a penalty, and he's been given.
Penalty. Penalty.
Ball, says Peter Banks, and Queen's Park Rangers have a penalty in the 65th minute.
Against Danny Bart in it.
Was it Bart, was it?
I think it's Danny Bart, he's jumped up.
Well, it's been coming.
There's a lot of bodies in there.
It's his hand.
It's been coming.
Rangers a chance to pull the game level.
Ballard's down as well.
Yeah, Ballard's down, stretching up.
How many minutes you on, Anth?
He's trying to flex his left leg. He's going to get some treatment. Who's going to take the penalty? I think his chair's going to take the penalty, isn't he?
Take it, yeah.
Well, they've been coming into the game bit by bit by bit by bit. Coventry's taken the lead.
Once Dan Ballard has been treated, the referee's had a word with Anthony Patterson. This away to our right, and in fact, it's not Ballard, is it? I think it's Bart. And it's not even Bart, it's O'Nien again. Yeah,
Coventry 1, Millwall 0.
Ballard's okay. O'Nien's just hauled to his feet, he has to go off on the far side. In the meantime, we've got a penalty then for Queen's Park.
Well, we've allowed them back into it, man. We've not pressed very well the second half.
Now. Anthony Patterson bouncing on his line, waving his arms, trying to make himself big. Chair is only a couple of yards back from the penalty spot. Elias Chair, 4 goals this season. Now a chance to equalise for Queen's Park Rangers. And here comes the Moroccan. And it's saved!
Get in! Get in!
Patterson going down to his left. The ball flies away into the corner.
Great save.
It's still 1-0 to Sunderland.
Anth, watch your screen. Anth, watch your screen. Anth, watch your screen.
It's still 1-0 and a throw for Queen's Park Rangers on the right-hand side. What a great save by Patterson. Getting down low to his left. Chair hit it with good power.
He did.
He was looking for the corner.
Have you found out, Dav, or not, yeah?
So, as you said before, they're going to make a change, Sunderland. They need a second.
Coventry's leading 1-0.
Try and put the game to bed.
Come on, Sunderland.
Is that Dan Neil? I think it might be.
Come on, Sunderland. That's a wake-up call. That is a wake-up call.
But the ball crossed and behind for a goal kick.
Just a sure thing.
What a keeper. Oh, he saved it with his toe. I've just seen it.
68th minute then.
Must be coming off for Alex Pat.
Will it be O'Nien? No, it's
Pritchard, isn't it?
It's Pritchard, yeah. Pritchard.
Just to shore up in the middle of the park.
Yeah. Pritchard off then. Dan Neil on. We're in the 69th minute now.
Dan Neil's coming on. Pritchard's going off.
So Pritchard applauding the away fans.
We need a second because they are a threat, QPR. They are dangerous. They've got that chair up front, and you know that we need to get a second because.
And Sunderland have what, just 20 minutes or so. 21 minutes to see out now, or extend their lead. I don't think Ahmad's touched the ball yet since he came on in the.
Ahmad hasn't touched the ball yet since he came on.
And Patterson then.
QPR Mad, welcome to the challenge. You're playing really well. We are a joke at the moment. QPR fans planning a protest now, says QPR Mad.
Elise has to get back, but it's headed clear by Bart onto the head of Dazelle, trying to find Kakai, who loves a few step overs.
Well, I think he's been quite harsh on QPR because I think they've played a lot better this second half. You know, I wouldn't say they're knocking on the door, but they're getting more possession.
You got Thurkin on the bench.
Yeah.
Just to show things up on the left-hand side.
Jack Clark showed a yellow card. It's his 7th yellow card of the season, Clark. Chair will take the free kick. A couple of yards in from touch on the right. 25 yards out. Roberts, the one-man wall.
I've got a feeling of 1-1 here. Like if we don't book our IDs up and get a second, like.
Penalty spot. Chair then from the right.
These will score. If we're not gonna sit back on 1-0 because it won't. These will score. They've got the players to do that. They've got the quality to do that.
Back in again. It's hanging in the air, the edge of the penalty area, but Gelhart's trying to dig this out. He's fouled.
Well done, Gelhart. Excellent.
Jimmy Dunn, I think it is.
QPR Mad says, our last manager was a traitor and this one has no passion. We can have all the possession we want, but we can't put it in the back of the net.
Jamal Lowe, who's shown a yellow card. Absolutely needless yellow card for Jamal Lowe. That's just utter frustration, isn't it, from the Queen's Park Rangers? So Patterson to take the free kick on this right of the midfield.
He's got Sirkin. I would bring Sirkin on. Just shore up on this left-hand side.
Up.
Yeah.
Kick from Patterson right up to the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area, where it bounces through into the hands of Dieng, who throws it out quickly to Dickey. Out here again now to Kakai on the right, back to Dickey, closed down by Ahmad, lifts it over Ahmad up to the halfway line.
Is it safe to say Sunderland won't get relegated this season then?
Neil's just taken out by Dazelle. Dazelle now shown a yellow card. It's getting out of hand in one sense for Queen's Park Rangers, because they are letting this get to them.
Yeah,
oh man.
So a third booking for Queen's Park.
Anth, would you confidently say we're not getting relegated this season then?
Oldham 2, Gateshead 0. 72nd minute. Jack Clark's going to take the free kick now that Pritchard is off the pitch. And Clark with his right hangs it up towards the corner of the penalty area on the far side. It's headed clear. Ahmad brings it down, plays it down the right now to Roberts, and we've got our combo back as he taps it back down to Ahmad down the right of the penalty area, into the penalty area. He's trying to get through but overruns it.
I hope you go up, says QPR Mad. You deserve it. Well, thanks very much, QPR Mad.
There, but not all of it. Out to Parl then. The ball is played by Dieng. Back inside to Dunn. Dunn back to Dieng.
I must admit, I am surprised how QPR have slid down the table, like, because they did go through a good spell where they were a really decent team.
Drops out on the right for Kakai. Elise's there. Across goes Lowe, and now he's going to try and cut into the penalty area. Blocked though.
Excellent
his
block.
Cross by Bart for a throw. And Lowe.
Michael Hadley says, I would say 99% we won't get relegated.
And no, he does leave it for Osman Kakai to take the throw. Back inside, looking for Lowe. Now down into the corner. Field pulls it back for.
That's all QPR at the minute.
Being pushed out to the
yeah, you were top at one point.
Queen's Park Rangers. Reading 1, Rotherham 1. Reading equalising.
What's for Watford's away? Top black and white stripes.
Back inside, looking to try and get Field in. But Field has
Watford's away stripes, like just like watching Newcastle.
For Queen's Park Rangers. Now the last one led to a handball, didn't it?
Then the traitor manager left us and just shifted the balance. Oh yeah, who was your manager that left you again?
I think it is going to take this. Pack in the 6-yard box again.
Class.
All the big men up there, and it's whipped into the near post. An attempt, I think, by Dickey to flick it back with his head. It's come out here on the right, and now Dickey trying to flick it in again from the edge of the 6-yard.
And where did he go to?
Again, Dickey from the right, but straight.
Oh, fucking.
Still 1-0 to Sunderland.
Michael Bale.
We're in the 74th minute. And Patterson has the ball at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Clark is out here wide on the left. It's rolled to Bart though. Bart now up through the middle, looking for Gelhardt. Dickey's all over him. Bounces down through for Irogbunum and Chair, and then Ballard cuts it out. And now inside.
Come on, son, and man, QPR's getting too much of this.
Role of his of running into the middle, but away he has to get back to his right back position because forward comes.
How's that a free kick, like, referee?
But
Heavens above.
Hume deemed to have fouled down by the goal line, and a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
Just giving away 1 or 2 free kicks, aren't we, around that 18-yard box? going to make another substitution, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And Eric Boonham's coming off, and Sinclair Armstrong is coming on. Eric Boonham, not a bad game for a 19-year-old.
Don't forget to click that thumbs up if you're new to the channel. And click the subscribe button if you are new as well. Much appreciated.
On he comes. He is a unit. 76th minute.
Come on, Rosie, I need you to say 2-0. Bill trying to emulate Gerrard.
From the left, almost at the corner flag. This free kick. Chair.
Oh, what a claim by Patterson.
Towards the far post and caught well by Patterson.
Great take.
Amongst the sea of players. Dickey's left frustrated again in front of him. We're into this final quarter of an hour now. It's 1-0 to Sunderland. But Queen's Park Rangers have drawn 4 of their last 6.
Cheers, QPR mad, mate. Thank you.
Much in this at 1-0. And Armstrong tried to put pressure on Bart. Bart gets the ball clear.
Well done,
Ahmad's got it now. Ahmad sprinting away. Ahmad trying to push the ball through to Roberts on the
Oh,
right.
he's hit the crossbar.
On the goal line, pulls it back. Comes out. Oh, he's off the bar. He half volleyed it onto the crossbar. It's dropped now at the edge of the area for Clark. And out to Elise. Gelhardt desperately unlucky. Neil has it now, trying to get into the penalty area. Elise trying to get a foot to it. Neil looking to, and he leaves it for Ahmad. Ahmad trying to get into the box himself, but Queen's Park Rangers just lash it clear. And out on the right hand side now, Sunderland come forwards again with Hume as he pushed in the back. He's kept the ball, but then it's cut out as he tries to play it through. And back up onto the halfway line. Ballard just puts his foot through it.
Was that Gelhardt's effort there, was it?
Nearly doubling the score, but denied by the woodwork. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1. Is Ahmad.
I know what I've got you for next Christmas.
Right to Hume. Back inside to O'Nien.
Yeah, with a manager question mark on the back.
Behind him to Dan Neil. Neil across to Elise here. Elise out wide to Jack Clark. Clark.
No, I've no idea.
Back to chase him is Jamal Lowe. He's turned it back into the path of Dazal at the edge of the area in front of Dan Neil. And into the middle now to Field. Field just leaves it for Andre Dazal. Dazal through the middle, straight to O'Nien. Ahmad ahead of him, looking for Roberts again. Roberts down the right side of the penalty area, trying to come in past Dunn. Dunn trying to stick with him for the moment, plays it back on the corner of the box, where Ahmad leaves it for Roberts again. Roberts out wide. He's got to try and cut in here, almost down in the corner. Turns back out down the touchline, back behind into Ahmad. And Ahmad inside again to O'Nien, inside to Neil. Neil back to Ballard on the halfway line. Forwards again to O'Nien. Out on the right wing, Ahmad cutting back inside, leaving Chair.
Offside.
And the offside flag up on.
You better watch
Jack
the
Clark.
line, Clark. Jack Clark.
79th minute, Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 1, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Total Sport with reaction tomorrow night, with breakfast as well tomorrow morning. And we're back again on Saturday, of course, with Bristol City at home. Another change beckoning for Sunderland. And the ball goes out for throw to Queen's Park Rangers. Is that Sirkin on the far side? Kakai trying to come in, plays the ball back onto the halfway line to Dickey. I think it's going to be a double change for Sunderland. Ekwa's going to come on as well. Here's Armstrong trying to tee up low. The ball cleared. It's
What's Sunderland's financial situation? We are still paying FFP. This owner will spend when we need, sends Julie Dodds, and Kieran says it would come in handy without a doubt. But I'd rather see my team playing good Premier League football, not struggling to stay up. I can't handle any more relegations. I wonder if he means he's quite happy in the Championship at the moment until we're really ready. If Sunderland went up.
And Kakai trying to come past Clark now. Clark sticking with him. Kakai's crossed to the far post and it's headed across the face of goal by an angry Chris Martin.
These are going to score soon if we don't get a second goal. I'll keep you up, Matt. I'm telling you now, you guys will get you guys will equalise if we don't get a second.
And
Luke 09 coming off.
well, it looked like Gelhardt, I think.
Yeah, Gelhardt.
I think Gelhardt's coming off and Equa's coming on for him. Nearly
Is
scored,
Davlar still in the chat?
Not quite. Equa will replace Gelhardt. Dazell's coming off. And Johansson, the Norwegian international, is coming on. And the last change, Elise's been replaced by Sirkin.
Elise has had a good game.
He's had a good game, Sirkin. So there are all the changes made when the 81st minute now.
Leslie's done well, hasn't
he? He has done well. Sirkin, let's see if he lasts longer than he did last time at Millwall. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland.
You wouldn't be surprised if they come up with a sneaky equaliser in the 99th minute, though.
For Sunderland, Patterson away to our right. The ball down the right from his kick, and the header on by Equa. It comes back to halfway, and then it's thumped forwards again by.
They've got the quality to score, Anth. I don't care what anybody says. They have got the quality up there.
Back it comes through the middle from Chair. Out from Sunderland again on this left, and Clark gets it into the path of Sirkin.
Go on!
Gets it inside to Ahmad. Out quickly now to Clark on the left.
Get in!
Still going on his right.
Yes! Get in there.
Rolls it home from 6 yards. There's a yellow card for Johansson, I think.
Hey?
But Sunderland have doubled their lead in the 82nd minute,
Hey?
and surely they've won the game now.
Yeah.
Jack Clark is on a little reign of form.
Excellent. He's just got his shot away, didn't he? Got enough power behind it. But again, good play by Sirkin. He's the one who started it all off on this left-hand side.
So, Sunderland lead 2-0. Queen's Park Rangers fans down in front of us starting to leave here now. And further frustration for Queen's Park Rangers, I think, in having their substitute. He's only just come on. I'm sure it was Johansson, but they're shown the yellow card. And Sunderland now have only got 7 minutes or so to see out. As the ball comes out again for a throw to Sunderland on the left. And
I said 2 out as well.
Sunderland's away record this season.
Glitchy getting sacked in the morning.
Up to scrutiny, isn't it? They've done really well. I think their last defeat away from home was in October. Here they lead 2-0. Throw taken by Sirkin on this left-hand side. Stabbed down.
Oh, thank you for the subscriber. Thank you, Rosie, as well, for that good news. Thank you, Rosie.
Down below us, he's hauled Ahmad back, and Ahmad's been thrown all over the place by Dickey, who's penalised, and it's a free kick to Sunderland on the left-hand side here. Nearly halfway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 2. Jack Clark with his 7th goal of the season. His 5th in the championship. Equa trying to stretch to get a foot on the...
He likes to cut inside on the left-hand side, Clark, doesn't he? And then just pick his spot.
Well, there was talk before the game, as strange as it may seem, that Neil Critchley's job could be under threat.
Yeah, he was.
Here after only 11 games. Dickey driving this forwards now, down the right looking for Armstrong, headed away by Sirkin to Clark, who hooks it back inside into the middle. Field brings it down, out now to the right, Armstrong runs into Equa and Dan Neil. Neil gets it back into Equa. Ahmad's making a run. Equa's trying to find him, and he will find him. Ahmad's on. Ahmad's in the penalty area. Blocked by Dieng, though. Good save by the goalkeeper. Equa's picking himself up in the centre circle. And here's Sirkin now. If anyone's going to score, it's surely going to be Sunderland here. Queen's Park Rangers, they're frustrated. They try and break with Kakai. Neil trips him. But it's Sunderland who look like they are the most likely to score on the counter-attack as Queen's Park Rangers try and get something from this game. We're in the 86th minute. 2-0 to Sunderland. Johansson is going to take the...
Would you say this? We deserve this. We deserve this scoreline, or is it our flattering QPR? Do you think?
Norwegian international. He drives it up into the penalty area, caught by Patterson.
Yeah.
Tell you what, excellent goalkeeping by Patterson.
Well, he saved the penalty as well.
You know, his handling being excellent.
I've seen that.
He's on his back at the moment when he went to catch.
How's the referee not spotting? He's like, QPR Mad said it's going to be 3-0 soon.
In these late stages of the game, Patterson getting himself up. Birmingham 0, Cardiff City 1.
That's not the usual QPR that I'm used to seeing. Like, I mean, like when they came to the stadium, like, I know we played really well, but I don't know, it's somewhat not right. He's right, QPR, what he's saying. Like, there's we've been there before, though, haven't we? With our managers like Larry Grayson and stuff, and Cole Parkinson. It is a shit feeling. Like, it is crap.
Well, the first half of this season, last season at Torquay, the strong Irishman. But at the moment, cuts.
Has he played well, Gelhard, do you think?
The ball is back in the Queen's Park Rangers half. Ahmad trying to win it. Dunn clears onto the head of Ballard, who heads it through the middle, headed away again by Dunn, up towards Armstrong, who gets ahead on it next to Luke O'Nien, but it's headed away by Sirkin then into the centre circle, and Ekwa now, just on the left of the centre circle, on the halfway line. Dan Neal in the middle, rolling it out to the right here, as forwards comes Roberts again. Roberts down the right, dribbling down the right of the penalty area, his shot across the 6-yard box. Comes here down on the left-hand
Kieran
side.
says we're 6 as it stands. Yeah, that's because Watford's winning.
Back of the area to Neil, who tried to pass it through Johansson, who blocked it, but it's come out to Clark. And now a possible break for Lowe, but across comes Luke O'Nien. I don't think he actually touched the ball, but it's gone out for a throw to Queen's Park Rangers as O'Nien slid in. Lowe takes a quick throw, gets the ball back here, Jamal Lowe, and plays it into the middle looking for Chris Martin, but it's hooked away on that far side by Hume. And back to Dunn, and now Johansson, still 2-0 to Sunderland in the 80th.
Well, cheers for popping in the chat, everybody, and QPR as well. Keep your head up. I'm sure if you make any manager changes, I'm sure you'll start climbing back up that table again.
Armstrong out to Kakai, back to Chair on this right-hand side. Low cross blocked by Sirkin, bounces awkwardly in the air, headed down by O'Nien, and then hooked.
It would have been a game changer. I think it would have been a game changer, without a shadow of a doubt. I think Patterson saves just added more frustration to QPR. Like, listen, what do I have to do to get something out of this game? Definite game changer. I don't think our heads would have dropped. I just think you'd be seeing a different QPR, put it that way.
On the left here again, field now for Queen's Park Rangers. Done for Queen's Park Rangers. Chair in the middle, out wide on the right-hand side again, Kakai. 89th minute, cleared by Sirkin, puts his left foot through it to the edge of the area. Neil couldn't get quite on the end of it. Chair has it back again, leaves Neil on the deck. Chair still going, slipped it inside to field. A block by Bart, a header clear by Bart at the second attempt. And now Neil on the break with Ahmad and Roberts on the right. Neil looks up and he's going to try and take it on himself in the end. It was hooked away in front of Neil by Powell. Comes back up though to Roberts, inside to Ekwa, he's caught.
I don't know how QPR's not had a player sent off, to be honest with you.
Yellow card this time.
Some of the challenges have been horrific.
A bad night all round for Queen's Park Rangers.
How many's that for?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bookings for Queen's Park Rangers. And they trail 2-0.
Chris Willock and Elias Chair will be gone at the end of the season. Kenny says Sunderland take over. Connor says I said 2-0 as well. And so does BMYZ, so hope you put money on them bets.
And it's played short, back to Roberts from the right from Hume, forwards to Ekwa, gets a good shove in the back from Dunn. And he's thrown to the floor now, it's broken out into a bit of a A little bit of afterwards from Equa on the deck as Dunn pursued, pushing him.
The hardest games, I think, there'll be Stoke and QPR. Stoke and Coventry.
Called to the
Roberts who was on the
Roberts
deck.
was on the deck. Equa's challenge in the first place, but Roberts was on the deck, and Dunn just continued. And
I don't think Sunderland's got anything to be afraid of playing at Burnley, to be quite honest with you.
Jimmy Dunn's arguing with the assistant.
Chair to Sunderland, said Liam 575. And we've got enough deck chairs on Seaburn, to be honest with you. We're all right.
But into the 90th minute, Norwich 3, Hull 1. 5 minutes to play. 4.5 minutes to play. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 2. Has the ball disappeared?
No, there it is. The goalkeeper.
Oh, the goalkeeper's got it. Yeah, I was watching.
What's
Chair
carrying
on the left.
there?
What was carrying on over there on the touchline with Chair?
I always had a soft spot for Sunderland, says QPR Mad, from the Niall Quinn days.
Goalkeeping kit with the,
I wonder what Niall Quinn's doing. Very good of you to say QPR, by the way.
Free kick for Queen's Park Rangers, and drives this up towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area, and someone goes down. I think it was Field, but he picks himself up.
There's another foul.
Meantime, there's another foul on Ahmad, but play on, says the referee. Roberts
There's another foul.
A push on Clark, this time by Kakai, and out wide to Equa.
Get in!
Penalty area. It's pulled back by Neil. Oh, 3-0. Jack Clark. Wrapped it up. Jack Clark goes down to the supporters in front of him, and in the 91st minute, Sunderland made absolutely sure of all 3 points.
Great counter.
Ant, watch your screen. Watch your screen, Ant. Watch your screen.
But what a good finish by Jack Clark. Great.
Tony Mowbray looks like he's constipated on the bog.
12 yards.
I'll tell you what, there is unrest here.
There is.
And I think it's shown in the play with QPR, the amount of players who have been booked, frustration.
Yeah.
Get in.
That could be the nail in the coffin, by the way.
Well, you do wonder, don't you, after all the talk we've heard and the unrest here.
3-0.
Run that Queen's Park Rangers are on. 1
to the Premier League, out of the way. I don't know we'll get there. I don't really care. All I know, Sunderland's on the way.
Lead 3-0. Still got 2.5 minutes to play. Still time for another.
Time for a hat-trick.
Jack Clark hat-trick, yeah.
Jack Clark hat-trick.
Dickey drives the ball up to the right of the Sunderland penalty area. It's headed away, though, by Hume. And now Johansson trying to work it through, but Equa strides in and wins it back out on the right to Roberts, back inside to Ahmad. Now Equa again to Ahmad. Ahmad across here on this left.
I think you should ban Rosie because I think you should kick Rosie out because she never said 3-0 there. She never reported it.
Now trying to find Sirkin down the left. Sprints onto it. Down the
Only joking, Rosie, of course.
And the ball rolls off down the touchline, stays in, comes back to Danny Bart, trying to find O'Nien. O'Nien tucks it inside now to Dan Neil, and Neil at the left of the centre circle, back to Ballard, forwards to Neil again.
God, we are ripping QPR to pieces at the minute, like.
Taps it back to Hume.
They've totally give up QPR, like they've totally sort of thrown their towel in.
To Ahmad, back to Hume. Hume forwards to Roberts. Equa back to Roberts, and away goes Ahmad on the right hand side. Clark trying to get in the penalty area, but it's played back to the goalkeeper. He clears with his right.
It looks a very unhappy QPR team. I hope for the fans they get it sorted quick.
It's embarrassing now. It's embarrassing now. The quality between the two teams stands out a mile. 3/4 of this stadium is empty. The end to our left is full.
What a fucking win tonight.
Red and white. It's a throw for Sunderland, halfway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half on the far side. Down it drops to Roberts to try and dig out, and it's a throw this time to Queen's Park Rangers. Still roughly halfway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. A long throw from Dunn up to the halfway line. He's actually thrown it back out. It's a throw now to Sunderland on the far side. 25 seconds of the 5 minutes left. Ball retrieved by a orange-clad steward on the halfway line on the right. Then this throw for Sunderland, which will be taken by Trey Hume as the referee looks at his watch. Down the line it goes, 10 seconds of the 5 left, and it's dropped for Roberts. He's going to try one from a long way out, straight at Dieng.
Was it Clark who got our third? It was, wasn't it?
And Dieng rolling it out now to Dunn and Field, and that's it. Sunderland have won handsomely here tonight.
Wow. Full time.
Work hard in the first half, but once they'd taken the lead, I think really we felt there was only going to be one winner.
Surprised Sunderland fans saying singing "We Play You" every week. Now we only say that to Newcastle, QPR, Mad. We only say that to Newcastle. We're guaranteed 3 points against them. Listen, I hope you have a good rest of the season, and I hope you sort the manager out. You're a big club, and I hope you start climbing the table, because it will happen.
Much more quality, and you can see that the manager is under a lot of pressure here.
Very much so. You could tell Queen's Park Rangers players getting frustrated, getting booked, and giving away needless free kicks. But Sunderland it was who always looked...
Well played and play safe for us. Play safe for us. You'll be fine, QPR, honestly. I reckon Jack Clark has answered his critics.
Tony Mowbray will also feel that he's changed the system, he's tried something different tonight, and it's worked for him.
Yeah, he's tweaked it, you know, and you've got to take credit to the lads who's come in. You know, we talk about Barg, you know, Gilda, I thought worked very, very hard, deserved the goal, he should have scored, I think.
I thank you, QPR, Mad, and I hope your season does get better. And thanks for everybody else who's popped in as well.
They worked hard when we never had the ball, and again, you know, you start look at the goalkeeper, and I think Patterson's handling, especially in that 6-yard box, was excellent.
Yes, he was very strong tonight, commanded his box, very strong for the penalty as well, getting down and getting his left hand to it down in the corner to turn it round for a corner kick as Dan Neil hugs Luke O'Nien on the halfway line as they go down again to celebrate.
Somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos before, quite a while back as well. What my video was like, talking about, we need to get rid of Tony Mowbray quick before we get relegated. somebody put a comment on saying, this aged well, hasn't it?
Penalty save by Anthony Patterson in the 67th minute from chair as Luke O'Nien is going to throw something into the crowd. And then 2 late goals.
I just replied saying I'm really, really glad that I am wrong. Kieran was 3 points.
Story to tell. There's a lot more perks to having.
Yeah, you too. Good luck, QPR, Mad. You're welcome on here any time, mate. Drown your sorrows. We've been there. You'll pick up. Yeah, you're welcome, Geordie. Thank you.
TV, radio, and online.
I really hope my story
yes.
help people who are going through similar things.
Go to bbc.co.uk/young reporter competition to find out more and see the full rules and
2 seconds.
You have a voice that matters.
Entry
There's that much to catch up on at the minute.
On Friday the 31st of March 2023.
Dominic James back in the BBC Radio Newcastle studio, full time then at Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sunderland 3. Luke O'Nien giving the Black Cats an early lead in the
right, here we go then.
34 minutes.
Just loading up the socials here, the old news department.
Handball after 65 minutes. Share that missed that penalty. Anthony Patterson.
Here we go.
Save. And then 2 goals in the last 10 minutes by Jack Clark, rounded off for Sunderland, getting a 3-0 win on the road. Gary Bennett, the excellent captain, will be sticking about to take some of your text messages. So do send us a message. We're on WhatsApp 8000 321 333. Text us 81333. Start your messages with the letters BBC. We're on Twitter as well. It's at BBC Newcastle. I'll quickly just go through some of the other fixtures that have been happening this evening in...
Yep, here we go with some of the social media things. Outstanding team performance. We're playing some bloody lovely football at the moment. An absolute pleasure to watch. What a squad we have at the minute. What a save by Pato. I can't remember the last time I've seen someone play football like this. Who would have thought we'd have been in this position at the start of the season? A pleasure watching these lads at times. Brilliant away performance from the whole side. Not the usual Valentine Day's hoop smashing, but I will take it. I fucking love this team. All the players deserve credit on that performance. We are Sunderland. Very, very happy Sunderland fans on social media indeed, which is understandable. That's 10 points in our 4 games. Jeez. Going to give it to Clark. Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving it to Jack Clark. To be fair, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go for Patterson. I totally forgot about that penalty situation there, and he did boss. He came and claimed a lot of things tonight. So yeah, I think that is a well deserved. And I'm looking on social media, the majority of them as well saying exactly the same thing. Thanks very much indeed, QPR Mad. Thank you, Adam. Thanks for everybody. Yes, we'll be. Yep. Next Friday and this Friday we'll be doing a podcast live on YouTube, just Sunderland banter and chat. So you're welcome to join if you want. Which is on a Friday. Called the Mac&4 Show. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Love you loads. See you later. Ta-ra now.